Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is going to be an interesting one. I'll be reacting to Tim Welch's How to Win a Street Fight. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it along with you guys. Tim Welch, he kind of looks like Canelo Alvarez. He's not Canelo. He's the coach of Sugar Sean O'Malley, the MMA fighter. Anyway, before I even go on with this, I see where this is probably going, more like a street altercation with people looking for trouble. Not so much the kind of thing we often talk about here. And by the way, I always recommend my books for stuff like this, Surviving the Economic Collapse, and specifically for this, street survival skills. This is more in the lines of not someone that has a looking for a fight, more like someone that has criminal intent. The kind of thing we go more like using these sort of things or stuff like this, right? So there's going to be a difference here, no doubt, but you can always learn from these sort of stuff if there's, valuable content. Let's check it out, all right?
Bank job's going great. Yeah. You're moving up in the world. You could be moving up to another position, which is...
You better watch it, Red Bush.
Right, you see what I mean?
What?
Okay, guys, I'm going to give you 4 ways to win a fight in this scenario. Let's head into the gym and break it down.
I don't want to fight. Cough it up.
Okay, guys, I'm going to give you guys 4 ways to win a street fight in this scenario. The number 1 way is you don't want to fight. You want to try to avoid the fight. So putting your hands up and being out of range just like this, being ready to go, telling the guy you don't want to fight. The last thing you want to do is step up to the guy head to head like this.
Please stop.
I can't let you get close. Once you get forehead to forehead like this, is when these hooks come from the side, you get knocked out or you get kneed in the nuts real hard. So a good thing to do right away when you think you're about to get into a fight is stand a little bit more sideways and have your hands up ready to go, controlling the reins. So I'm going to give you 4 sequences that will win you.
I don't want to do this all the time, but I have to say, if it's something like this, someone like it drops, the cup, right? Like
Bank job's going great. Yeah. You're moving up in the world. You could be moving up to another position, which is...
You better watch it, Red Bush.
Usually, if that's what's... And this happens all the time. It's, sorry, man. Yeah, it's my bad. That's usually all the other guy needs, has to feel better about himself, which is probably something he desperately needs. And you give him that. It's not costing you a single cent. Ego's here. No. Remember, if you're the kind of person that carries stuff like this, or stuff like this, you can't afford to get into a fight because these things are already involved. You brought them in. So you cannot afford to get into... What if he's bigger, stronger than you? He knocks you down and he gets control of your tools that you need for the other sort of thing that is more life and death. Well, you cannot have... You don't have that... you can't afford that anymore. Your ego has to go out there because you are preparing for something different. So, sure, man, sorry, my bad, whatever. Now, if someone tries to, hurt you beyond anything that you could possibly, control within, sorry, my bad, and you're still being attacked by someone, you don't have much of a choice. But that usually gets you out of 80% of these things where, my bad. Yeah, sorry. I apologize for you hitting my glass, right? Let's go back to this.
The first one is, my hands are going to be up just like this. Now I'm going to throw a smack. Right now I'm throwing a smack just to keep this guy safe. In real life, I'd be throwing a hook. So I'm throwing a smack, high crotch, and I'm running the pipe, moving my feet. As soon as he goes down, look, I don't want to lean over the guy like this where he's going to up kick me. He's going to be able to kick me in the face. I want to keep my hips in, control his ankles so he doesn't up kick me, and then I can drop some juicers to the back of his head. Boom. I can go to his chest and go to the back of the head. But key is I want to keep my hips in. I don't want to be leaning over like this where he can kick me in the face and knock me out. So one more time with scenario 1. Go ahead, jump up. I'm throwing a good quick left hook just so he's thinking about up top. Boom. As soon as I do that, my head's already on this side. I drop down to the single leg. And I'm keeping this leg really tight to my chest, and watch, I'm moving my feet. My right foot goes back and I drive my shoulder on top of his thigh. And then my hips are in. This is an important part. In a fight, no matter what, when you get on top, you want to stay on top. Again, my hips are in. I don't want him to up kick me. I don't want him to tip me over with a jiu-jitsu sweep. I'm staying on top of him. And when I hit him in the head here, there's nowhere for his head to go. There's the ground. I can look right at his face. I can punch him square in his sternum, and that'll really take it out of him. and then I can give them a few juicers up top, and then they'll probably be done for. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. And my hips are in. My hips are in. Dink, dink, dink. You take them out just like that. So now we'll move on to scenario 2. It's important in a street fight that you stay calm and focus on your tactics and technique and think about the best option. And I like to use Via Hemp Revive for that. And Via Hemp, they have great flour, they have great gummies. Check out the link in the description and use code TIM for 50 top to bottom. That's if the guy doesn't go flat to his back. Most people when they get up, they have to go to all fours to get up. So as soon as I hit a takedown here, he's gonna go to all fours and try to get up, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Hey, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna fight. And now I got both hooks, and I can do what I please. I can grab his head, I can juicer, I can go rear naked choke, and finish him, and now he's mine. Again, I'm going left hook up top, grab his leg, run the pipe. Now this time, he's going to his stomach. He goes to his stomach, so he's trying to get up. I'm putting my hooks in right away, good tight seatbelt.
So you obviously see the super strong, Sugar O'Malley's there in the back. So you see the clear influence of MMA here, because these are MMA guys. Honestly, I would advise not to get that close to people. I mean, if you're an MMA fighter, you're trained to fight, just punch him. You're going to be faster. You're going to be more accurate than him. Don't go, because again, these days, more and more people have these sort of things. Someone will have a pocket knife. It's 15, 20 bucks. It's going to be opening you up like a fish. You don't want to do that. And there's more and more videos. I mean, there's some that I cannot even do reaction of here in video in YouTube, because they just bring it out. They just give you a strike over it because it's too graphic. But these are the things that end up happening on the street. So when this is a huge difference between fighting in a cage, which is awesome, especially if you're in, but taking this straight into a street fight, you don't want to be Tim Welch like that. You don't want to be this guy, because if he has a knife, if he has a gun, if he has a knife, if he has a pen, if he has any sharp object, you're getting stabbed. You're getting fucked up very, very bad. And that's a whole other story.
I'm on top of him, and I got him. I can rear naked choke him, go to your stomach. I can rear naked choke him. I can straighten my legs out, arch my...
I mean, people do these things in street fights. It's true. But you're opening yourself to a possibility of something that's going to be a lot worse than just getting punched or getting choked out or getting... I would just, stay on your feet as much as you can. And if you're an MMA fighter and you know how to fight, punch the guy. Don't go down like that with him.
So I have him flattened out, and he's going to be pretty helpless here. I'm going to be able to beat on him pretty easy. So that's scenario 2. Okay, so now here's another self-defense scenario where he's coming at me, and I'm going to be forced to fight him. First things first, my hands are up. I'm controlling the range, just like this. Hey, I don't want to fight. The cops are right there.
What?
That's exactly what I would suggest. Especially if you are trained, you know how to throw a couple punches. Yeah, don't start wrestling. Don't start going jiu-jitsu on the guy in the middle of the street where his friends can come back and kick you in your head. You can get stabbed. You can get hurt in a number of ways. Just, basic striking is something that most people have never even done. Most people don't even bring their hands up, right, when someone is like that. So he's right about all of this stuff, but I would go for the technique number 3 that he's
put him down. Now you run the risk of really hurting him, but in this situation, you have to defend yourself. So you point, say, hey, the cops are right there. I don't want to fight. And then you juice him with a good, clean 3-2 to the lips. I'm going to break it down a little bit slower. Remember, I'm standing in a sideways stance. My hands are out like this. I'm showing him that I don't want to fight. Now I'm going to back up, and I'm going to calmly say, hey, I don't want to fight. The cops are right there.
What?
And then when he looks right at those cops, I'm stepping in, I'm throwing a 3.
The cops that are actually there, then most definitely don't be the one that punches first, because that is considered assault. The guy has not assaulted you yet. These cops are actually right there, and you're hitting the guy first. You're gonna end up in handcuffs and going to jail.
A left hook, right hand, boom. Pushing off the balls of my feet, all the power from my right hand comes from the floor. Pivoting my back foot, turning my hips over, and throwing the right hand. Again, one more time slow. I'm backing up. Remember, when I'm backing up, I'm not backing up with my feet square. I'm pushing off my front foot in this orthodox stance, backing up. Hey, I don't want to fight. The cops are right there. Bang, bang, a 3-2, and then set him down. Hopefully he's not dead, but I had to defend myself.
Yeah, he's absolutely totally right, of course. I mean, these are professional MMA fighters. The risk is that you punch someone in the face, you punch him hard enough, and this is going to be depending on a number of factors, depending on the age. People that are older, they don't take a punch as well as people that are younger. The older you are, the less balance you have. The older you are, the more like... And you see these fucking... You see old people often starting shit. Like, what are you doing, man? Go do something. Go watch after your grandkids, right? No, they start and they get pulled, clock in the face, and he will go down like a pile of bricks and crack his skull because you're not falling on the mat, you're falling on pavement. When you fall off pavement, pavement is very hard, cracks your skull. So that's the kind of thing that can be very dangerous. So I would add my little grain of advice here would be extremely sure that you have every you don't have any option left but to punch someone in the face like that, because if he goes down, he cracks his head, you may end up having a huge bill or looking at time.
A 3-2, and then set him down. Hopefully he's not dead, but I had to defend myself. Okay guys, so I'm gonna give you the fourth scenario here of how to win a street fight. Now again, this is when the guy's coming at you and you're forced to fight. Your hands are up, you're sideways so your nuts aren't exposed, and you're controlling the range. Okay, so, hey, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. The cops are right there.
Tim.
You were supposed to have it down farther. No, hold on.
Fuck.
I thought you were supposed to have it down farther.
Oh, the worst sick time goes.
Do you want me to grab an element?
Oh.
Do you want me to grab you an element? That might be the best fucking tactic on the ball right there.
Oh, dude.
So it is effective. Now, it's not always the case that someone will stand straight. I mean, and these guys see it all the time. When someone gets a low blow, a low kick, yeah, that stuns you quite a bit. Now, is it really all... Because if you look at what the Krav Maga dudes will tell you is, yeah, that is their go-to strategy for everything. Well, sometimes the guy is, as he says, a little bit on the side, and it's not going to be all that easy. Or sometimes you kick, and you're not hitting where you're aiming. Maybe that guy has a surprisingly tiny kick. You don't know, right? So you cannot always count. I think that it could be a combination of these things. I like the last couple ones better because it doesn't involve this thing of, yeah, potentially me being stabbed, right?
Did it go right into it?
The left nut took it all.
You must have big nuts. You must have big nuts.
I hate it.
Anyway, I think it's great. Again, these are... Tim Welch is a professional MMA trainer, trains Sean O'Malley, which was up until recently champion of his division, 125 was it? Anyway, lost against Morab. Yeah. But these guys, this is what they do. But you see there's a difference here between how these things go down when doing this in the sport environment, or people that are, attacking you, several people. You don't know how many people involved. You don't know if they have any weapons specifically. If they have, even a simple knife is something that makes a huge difference. There was one I saw recently. A complete asshole in a train, and a couple bigger guys sort of calm him down and got on his face dude, stop it. So a couple people in this train, what's that train? Was it a bus? Anyway, confined space, and all of a sudden they start grabbing on one another, throwing punches, and all of a sudden you hear the oh shit, and that oh shit means that dude had a knife and he starts stabbing people around. It is completely... You don't need to be a ninja. You don't need to be a fucking samurai. You don't even need to have something specifically useful for that sort of thing. Just any little blade, $10-15, half this size and not nearly as pointy, will make a mess out of human tissue, right? Keep that in mind. Again, for this sort of thing, I strongly recommend you follow the advice that I provide for the potential violent encounters on the streets, which there are some similarities, and there's a lot of things that can be useful if you know how to fight hand to hand, but you always have to compute the possibility of these factors that are, of course, not in the equation when it's MMA match in a cage or in the gym. See you next time, guys. Take care.